Hello everyone, this is Nala's Geek. I just watched Watchmen episode 2, the 2019 HBO series, and my question after this episode is it deep or is it dumb? And I still can give an answer. That was my point during the review of the first episode. And after episode 2, I'm even less sure about whichever of the two it is. I mean, this episode throws so many twists and turns and answers some questions. For instance, what is this white knight thing that happened during episode 1 and led everyone wearing masks? As well as why does the protagonist, Angela Akbar, has white children? And we get these answers in a flashback. And as you remember from episode 1, yes, there will be spoilers. You have been warned. As you remember from episode 1, her supervisor, who's played by Don Johnson, has been lynched, has been left hanging from a tree. And she enters the scene and she finds an old man who is in a wheelchair, and he's the boy from the Tulsa Massacre in episode 1. And we have some extra world building, as well as a little bit of a mixed messages about what's happening in this episode, because we have Angela taking this old man to her hideout, where he admits to, I killed your supervisor, and says, no, you didn't. We have the police getting the scene of the crime. Of course, Angela, being Angela, once more, she's hiding the fact that she arrested somebody. Because, yes, police in masks is a very bad idea. And I tend to believe that this police state that has been created in Watchmen, in this alternate history, is far worse than what we see today. We have this intersection of an authoritarian fascist regime with a very, very politically correct and woke policy about reformations and stuff. And we actually have the police officers, they are close the crime scene, and some reporters try to go in with some sort of mechanical wings and cameras, and they are beaten up by the police officer who wear masks. And then they go to a trailer park where there is a Nixon statue outside, and it's full of poor white people, and they attack them. They tear the statue down and proceed to beat up those people because they're suspect for cavalry. And some other stuff happens, some other curveballs are thrown. It is verified that Ozymandias is cloning people. Angela finds out that her supervisor has a clan, a KKK suit in his closet, which is a curveball. So she finally decides that she's a police officer, and she has to take in the old man in the wheelchair, who, yes, it's spoiler, turns out to be her grandfather, because at this point I think the whole writer's room is like, let's throw more curveballs at the viewers, so they believe that something amazing is happening, and there is so much weirdness thrown at the viewer. It's like, what am I watching? Where's this going? And okay, the main producer for Watchmen is the guy who wrote Lost, so there's a good chance it's going nowhere. Sorry to say that. The episode is still well made. The pacing is a little off, I think, because too few things happen for a 50 minutes episode. And there's so many questions posed that I felt that, I think the pilot did a good job at setting the questions, but the trailer after the episode 1 was really amazing. There were some great snippets there that made me want to see where it's going. And after episode 2, I'm afraid that all episodes will be lots of weirdness thrown at the viewer, and maybe there will be no answers. Maybe it will be questions after question after questions thrown them there, and cool stuff happening, and that will be all. The production values are very high, as I said before, and there is a standout segment of this episode, there is this American Hero Story, which is a story within a story. It's a serial about the Minutemen, the early Minutemen and Who Did Justice, and it starts with a content warning that reads so 2019 Twitter. And then there is this episode that is directed exactly like the Snyder movie from 2009, and it's ultra-violent to an extreme. It's making fun of all this cool slow-motion violence and extreme gore and stuff, and it was hilarious. It was the best part of the episode, and it was worth it despite the rest of the episode. So I don't know what they're trying to say, really. Do they try to say that Hollywood progressivism, as shown by Robert Redford, and as we see today on social media, will create a dystopia, an authoritarian dystopia? That'll be interesting to say, and I'm waiting to make it more obvious, because people are going to cancel them, because that's the age we're living. But people seem to like it because there is bad racist people. So I don't know, I'm just waiting for the hot takes to be, oh, Watchmen is problematic. But really, it's a well-made show that so many questions, there's so many curveballs. I mean, the ending of the episode is a very huge, what the fuck is happening now? Why? I want answers. And I think that's the whole appeal. Getting too many questions so you can continue watching the episode and continue paying for subscriptions. That's my take for Watchmen, and I think it tries to be deep, and there is some deepness. I don't know if it is intentional or not. I tend to believe it is intentional at this moment, because there is some good subversive satire there about American society, about politics. There is no clear good or bad here. We have these various pathetic heroes who are authoritarian vigilantes, and with the police like this, I don't want to live in a state like this, because police are awful people. I don't know, maybe the whole season will be Angela Slowing being red-pilled. Yes, I know there's so many political talk in this review, and I don't know what they're trying to do with this series, really. I mean, I don't think it's deep. I think this series is ultra dumb, as the title says, and yes, it is taken from Wisecrack, but Channel Wisecrack does some very interesting takes on current issues and addressing philosophy, and, well, I don't know, they're huge, but if you don't know them, go watch some of their videos, because they're very interesting and very influential in what I'm doing, even though I'm a scrap about philosophy. The Watchmen, episode 2, left me cold. I guess cold, it's the best term about it, because I didn't get it, really. I think I get what they're trying to do, and I don't like it. Maybe it's me, maybe episode 3 will change my mind. I said that I will do this sort of videos, me rambling in front of a mic, for every episode, and I'm starting to regret that, because episode 2 just gave me some weird whiplash and a deja vu of a series that wants to be deep, but it is dumb. So it was my opinion of episode 2, and I would love to hear your opinions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Hopefully one will be more excited about the source material. So, thank you, and have fun!